You know, back in my middle school, would say where and which one, but I don't want to dox myself for like a third time, so I'm going to keep that a secret of which one it was. However, when we were there were a couple interesting little events that we played when we were younger to keep ourselves entertained more than often. So in 8th grade, we were at the tippy top of the building. Now, this is an old brick building that has been around for like 100 years. So it's dusty beyond belief. It stinks. It smells. But it's right next to a giant farming field. Now, when we would look out the window, we had a perfect view up from our math class of the entire field. Now, none of us had good vision. Me included. I'm basically blind. But guess what? We were looking out and we saw this small speck. Not really speck, but figure in the field. Now, we thought this was a deer. So, for days on end, we thought this deer was like a skinwalker because it would not move, but its head would tilt back and forth. That's what we thought it was. We thought it was a genuine skinwalker and or deer. But one day, when it got a little too high in the fields and they started cutting it, we thought that they were about to run over and pulverize this deer. So when we came out in recess, we were like, no, stop. And then they ran it over, completely eviscerating it. However, it turns out that it was just a flag. It wasn't a deer. We all thought that it was like a deer standing in the middle of the field, waving its head back and forth. Nah, it was just some giant metal flag they had in there for some reason. So we almost traumatized ourselves. I mean, it would have been cool to see the blood flying out all over, like that one pig game that Vanos Gaming played a while back. I would put a clip of it, but I'd probably get demonetized immediately if I did. But if you know, you know. Anyway, let's get into the video. So, by request, a lot of people have told me to check out Anime Ascendants again. So, I made a previous video on this game when it first re-released. And to be honest with you, I really didn't like it. I thought that it was very poorly put together. A lot of the bundles and stuff looked AI. It looked like a cash grab to me, straight up. And the game died very shortly after. It was like at 10, 15, maybe a possible 100 players, if I remember. But it turns out they've been having some pretty decent updates, actually. So, for example, the most recent update with JJK actually has a lot of pretty decent, cool-looking units in them. But I don't believe that's exactly why the game has come back as much as it had. I think it's because they actually decided to lock in and make the game a little bit more enjoyable and lean into macroing. Now, I know that sounds really, really bad because I don't support macroing. I think it's stupid, but I mean, everyone's going to macro game no matter what you do. So if you're already going to cater towards your audience for it, hey, I guess go for it. You know what I mean? So what this game has done, and I'm going to show you right here in a second once I get into an actual match, but what this game has done is they've created a in-game macro. So you don't need Tiny Task. Whether you're on console or mobile or PC, you don't need to download an auto clicker or nothing. You don't need anything because all you have to do is go over here to where it says macro at it right here, and then you're going to hit start record. You're going to start the match and you're just going to play it as normal, and then it just lets you actually record it, which I think is great. I don't think it's great, but like, you're going to lean into it. It's better than some bum autoplay that's just not going to work or whatever like that, and it doesn't track your movements, like your mouse movements. So if you do a little mess up or like something like that, it does not matter like that because it just instantly upgrades the units and just does exactly what you do. So whatever click and placement you do, it's going to do that exact same thing. So I think this is great. I think this is one of the major reasons the game has come back, besides the updates just being way higher quality in the from the past couple ones they've been doing, especially with the Valentine's Day one, the one with Doma, the Portals, the JJK one with Maharaga and stuff. They're hype characters that bring in players. So I respect them for that. I do. I think they're doing a pretty okay job. The game doesn't, I will keep this clear, I don't think the game looks the best graphically wise, but that's fine. That's fine. Not every tower defense game needs to have Anime Vanguard's level graphics. It doesn't need that. It needs to be fun. That's what it comes down to. And if you want my honest opinion, have I been enjoying the game? A little bit. A little bit. It hasn't been too bad. As you can see, I already have Megami fully evolved. I can get him up to Maharaga now. But that's not really the reason I've been playing the game. I've just been playing the game just because people have told me to try it out, and I think it's been alright. The thing is, though, that I would not have even bothered trying to play this game or making this video if two things didn't happen. One, if I didn't get the rarest trait possible on Maki, who is one of the best units in the game, who I'm working on, getting. But if I didn't get the 0.1% on trade on her, or the 0.125% trade on Megami, I would not be touching this game. I'm going to keep that 100% real. I would not be touching this game if I didn't get it on either one of them. And that's just the truth of how it is. Oh, excuse me. I genuinely would not have touched this game in the slightest. Because why would I? By that point, right? Why would I play this game if it's not only really not all that unique in its own way just yet, has no really insanely fun game modes at all, it just has basic game modes that every tower defense game has, and that's it. And it has the built-in macro and stuff, but I'd have no insinuation to do that if I didn't get lucky. And I think that's a problem with this game, that if you don't get a rare trait, and a lot of tower defense games have this issue as well, especially smaller ones. If you don't get a rare trait on a unit that's gonna make them insanely good and like top meta in the game, then there's genuinely no reason to play the game. And then also, before we go on, let me just show you guys. So after you finish your macro, you just hit replay. You're gonna go to macro. You're gonna go to save. It's gonna save it right there, right? You hit load, playback, and then you just go from there, and it should start. If I believe. Yep, there it is. And it's good. And it just goes. It just goes. It's great. So, and then all you got to do is literally just go to your settings, turn on auto start and auto replay, and you're good to go, right? So I think that's good. I think macro-wise it's good. But as I was saying before, there is nothing in this game that is dragging me to play it any further than just grinding the new units. That's it. There's nothing here that really is all that much fun to me outside of getting the new units with the insanely good traits. Now, I'm sure that there is a insanely fast tree farming method that I don't know of yet, that I haven't bothered to look up, but I'm sure there is, so that I think that's fine. But getting into the game, there's nothing that's insinuating me to, right? When I joined this game, there is no early player quest. You can put in codes, obviously, which will give you a really good head start, but if you even get unlucky with the codes, or you don't get any good units from the banner, even through the selection, or you don't get a rare trait or something like that that makes your units good, you're not going to have an incentive to play the game. You're simply just not going to. And that kind of sucks. I think things that this game needs, right? It already has the in-game wiki that I don't know how to access, but maybe I'm not high enough level for it yet, but they say they're adding that. The in-game macro is fine. There needs to be an early player quest so that you can get a good mythic unit like Maki or something, get that started, get a singularity trait on somebody, like a free voucher or something like that on a unit for like completing all the legend stages or something like that. I think that'd be fine, and I think it would make a lot more people come into the actual game and want to stay, because then they'd be able to join on a new update, be like, oh, I'm just playing for the first time, I didn't get the new stuff, and I got a really bad trait, I'm just going to quit the game. Because that's kind of how it is right now. That's kind of how the game is. But add a player quest to remedy that, make a new game mode that is completely different from other stuff we've seen. It doesn't have to be insanely complex, just make it fun. Just make a fun, it doesn't even have to be like a crazy complex one. Just make it fun, goofy, give good rewards, not something that's going to break the economy of the game, but just something that makes it more fun, gives you insinuation to play it, and genuinely want to do something more in the game than just grind raids or macro for the new units. Because I can tell you right now, the second that I get Maki evolved, I'm not touching this game until the next update, because I'm not going to have to. Oh, but you can grind for Doma and the assassin dude from the secret quest line. Why would I? Why would I do that? For what? I already have two of the strongest units in the game. They're going to carry me through like every single thing that they will ever drop for a good while. Why would I bother? You know? Why would I bother with that until I get to the next update? Or like, and then I'm basically either forced because of power creep to get better units, or, you know, I just end up being able to still solo stuff, you know? So that's the main problems I have with the game right now. I think the game can do a lot better, but I think it is a big improvement from what it was when it was on launch. Especially the unit manager. The unit manager looks way better than it did on launch. So that's basically my thoughts on the game. I think it's alright. I think there's a chance it can come back fully. Well, I mean, it has come back. It has come back from like 10, 15 players. Now it's up to like 1,500 over 1,000. So that's a very good comeback. Very good comeback. But I think it can always do better. And I think it can get higher and higher and actually become a more than just filler game. Because I don't really try to mean that as a bad thing, but that's kind of what these games, some of these games are. And like this game, Anime Ascendants, is basically filler at this point. Anime Last Stand has become a filler game until an Anime Vanguard's update. Anime Guardians is also another filler game, for example. They're just games in their own right that you play because the main tower defense game that's better than all the others has an update and you've done everything else you can in it. Right? And that's a sad thing to see. But that doesn't mean that you have to give up. You can always do better. Always can do better. And I think that they're on the right track as long as they don't get a little bit lazy and just try to introduce some new things. Doesn't have to be a new thing every update, but just something new that just gets a little bit better, a little bit more fun, cooler units, cooler obtainment, something like that. I think the game's going to do great. But for now, everybody, that's basically going to be all. Don't have much too else to say besides that. And also, please join up in the Discord. We just hit over 400 members. If we hit 500, that would be sick. 500, I might do like a fart jar giveaway if someone really wants that. But also, at 10,000 subscribers, I'm just saying, if we hit 10K by the end of this year or before summer, I'm going to say it right now. If we hit 10,000 subs before the summer, which is going to be in June, I will do an OnlyFans. What will be on it? Not entirely sure yet. But I'll do it. I'll do it. It might be... It's not going to be nudes. I'm going to tell you that right now, guys. It will not be nudes because that's going to turn me into a... It's going to make me like a pedophile, and I'm not doing that. But it's probably going to be something like just like video, like pictures of me and my girlfriend hanging out or something like that. Or like some shit in my mainly day life. So something like that. Something like that. Anyway, guys. Have a great day. Appreciate you all. Maybe the game can come back. Full hands on. We'll see. We will see.